thoughtful answers to real questions. And one other thing, Donald Trump
is
the greatest gift to the Democrats in this race thus far that we have seen.
You don't think also the Republicans?
No, not at all. Because on immigration, he has taken a nativist position that is so far out there that it isolates him, but also Hillary Clinton has been unambiguous about a path for citizenship, about some real amnesty, about human considerations for immigrants. Jeb Bush has been unable to say a path for citizenship, and I suspect that's going to cause him some real difficulty if the race comes down in the end to Jeb Bush and Hillary Clinton.
To Clinton Bush again. We'll talk again,
that's
Carl
a problem
Bernstein.
too that we could talk about sometimes.
We can. I've got to get to this breaking news at the New York Stock Exchange, but as always, an honor and a pleasure. Let's roll on.
This is CNN Breaking News.
Here we go. Hour two of CNN here. I'm Brooke Baldwin. We have the breaking news in a minute now. The New York Stock Exchange, we're hearing, could be reopening, so we just want to make sure we're there. We'll take you there. This has been a wild day of technical glitch after technical glitch after technical glitch. I'm talking 3 massive U.S. operations brought to their knees. You have the New York Stock Exchange suspending trading now for 3 to 4 hours now. After experiencing an internal technical issue that started around 11:30 this morning. Right around that same time, the Wall Street Journal's homepage went dark. And earlier this morning, United Airlines grounded thousands of flights worldwide due to what is called a network connectivity issue and not a cyber breach. Let me first bring in Allison Cossack. She's at the New York Stock Exchange as we're waiting to see all of this trading resume. Well, what's the word you have, Allison?
Well, the official word initially was the exchange was going to open between 2:45 and 3 o'clock. Now we're hearing 3:05, and that actually seems like more of a certainty. And you can just sort of feel the anticipation in the air. I actually see some of the traders getting ready for trading to resume, and that's essentially what's going to happen. Trading will resume. The question was whether or not trading would resume or they'd start kind of like a new trading day, but that trading will resume. And I just want to say this. It's important, one trader told me, that the stock market reopen to close. And what that means is that these mutual funds that trade here, that these stocks that trade here, they need a closing price. And they don't get that closing price if you don't have the closing bell. So this exchange has to reopen to close, and they're banking on it today, Brooke.
Okay, it's been since 11:32 this morning Eastern Time. Allison Cossack will come back to you and see how the markets respond. So stand by, please, for that. I've got more breaking news right now as I continue on tonight. Anderson Cooper sits down with Donald Trump. We were just talking to Carl Bernstein, who said Donald Trump was the biggest gift to the Democratic Party. Listen, he has really quintupled down on these comments about Mexicans and immigrants, and those comments are costing the Republican presidential candidate dearly thus far, although when you look at polls, it hasn't cost him that much. Let me bring in Anderson, who just got mic'd up and sat down, to talk to me a little bit about your interview.
Yeah, I certainly asked him a lot about those comments, none of which he is backtracking on, I should say.
He's not.
No, and he also takes on the other Republican challengers who now have come out against many of the comments that he made. I also started the interview by asking him about a report now that the Washington Post, they interviewed some 15 workers at a hotel that's being built in Washington, D.C., that Trump owns, being built by Trump. And they said that several of those, they didn't give an exact number, of those workers were illegal immigrants. So obviously that raises questions of hypocrisy. Is Donald Trump, on the one hand, saying that illegal immigration is killing this country, is hurting this country, taking jobs from Americans,
Yet
and at the same time employing them? I talked to him about that. Let's show. The Washington Post, as you know, say that some of the workers building this beautiful hotel that you're building down in Washington, D.C. are illegal. They've talked to 15 workers. They said a number of those 15 came here legally through asylum. They're now legal, but that a number of them did say they're illegal. Isn't it hypocritical for you, saying that illegal immigration is killing this country, to be employing illegal immigrants?
I read the story, And we're building a great hotel on Pennsylvania Avenue, and it's being done beautifully. And we're I'm very cognizant of that. And by the way, that story does not name any names. I'd love them if they could give us the names, but they said they spoke to one or two, but they don't name them, and they don't even know if it's true.
Well, what they say is several of the men who hail mostly from El Salvador, Honduras, Guatemala have earned U.S. citizenship or legal status through immigration programs targeting Central Americans fleeing civil wars or natural disasters. Others quietly acknowledge that they remain in the country illegally. They don't give
have
numbers.
To give us the names because we have,
But illegal, or they're not going to give you names.
They have to give us the names, and I have to say this. We believe so strongly. I hired a very big contractor, one of the most prestigious, one of the best in the world, to build the building. It's their responsibility to make sure they have
Doesn't the buck stop with you, though?
Yes,
You're
it does.
paying their salaries.
Oh, absolutely. We have gone out of our way to make sure that everybody in that building is legal. And we do have some that became legal. And wait a minute, we have many, I think, that became, frankly, me, you, everybody. I mean, ultimately, we were all sort of in the group of immigrants, right? But we have done that to the absolute letter of the law. We're very, very careful.
But if the Washington Post can go there and talk to 15 people and find some illegal immigrants,
they haven't shown us anything. I wish they would give us some names. We would get them out immediately.
But you must have a guy on the job site.
We have more than one guy,
right.
And we check it probably more carefully than any job that was ever built. Anderson, you have either anywhere from 11 to 34 million illegal immigrants in this country. They're all over the place. Nobody knows even where they come from. They probably come some from the Middle East. You don't know where they're coming from. We check on that building probably more carefully than anybody that's ever built a building before. And I think from what I heard, and I just checked it this morning because I asked the question because I read the article also, we are absolutely in beautiful, perfect shape. Now, I wish they'd give us the names. We would get rid of them immediately.
This isn't the first time, though, this has been an issue. Daily Beast today, there's an article. I don't know if you've seen it. The headline says, they're talking about the building we're sitting in right now. They're saying Trump Tower was built on undocumented immigrant backs.
How many years ago was that?
This was,
35 years ago.
35 years ago.
Yeah, they said 35 years ago.
But this was a court case. 200 illegal immigrants, Polish workers, guys working for $5.
Anderson, I hire a contractor. The contractor then hires a subcontractor. They have people. I don't know. I don't remember. That was so many years ago. 35 years ago, they said we had some.
This was a court case settled in 1999. You settled with it.
It's all right. I mean, it's fine. I mean, I remember the case. Frankly, I remember it very well. We hire contractors. The contractor, very highly prestigious, very good. They go out, hire subcontractors. Sometimes the subcontractors will have people working, but you know, it's pretty far down the line.
This was 200 Polish workers working without hard hats. Pretty noticeable on a union job.
When you have to go back 35 years to tell me about something, I think that's pretty pathetic, to be honest with you.
Do you think, can you guarantee that you don't have illegal or undocumented workers working for you in hotel projects or various projects?
I can't guarantee it. How can anyone? We have 34 million in the country. I used to hear 11. Now I hear it's 34 million. I can't guarantee anything. But I can say this. We work very hard to make sure that everybody is legal as opposed to illegal.
There you have it. Donald Trump saying he can't guarantee that there aren't other illegal immigrants working in some of his projects, but that he works very hard to try to make sure there aren't.
Just quickly, while I have you for another 60 seconds before we go to the New York Stock Exchange, I want you to reiterate the point that you were making with him that was in that Daily Beast article that the Trump Tower was built.
Daily Beast has put out an article that there was a court case, a lawsuit brought against him years ago, that the Trump Tower, the building that was there originally, which was Bonwit Teller,
which is where you were sitting,
right, was actually taken down and the land cleared by some 200 illegal immigrants, Polish workers who are working for $5 a day, $5 an hour, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. They ultimately sued. It went on for a long period of time. Trump said he did not know, in the lawsuit, said that he didn't know that there were illegal immigrants working on that job site until later on.
Okay, stay with me. We're going to pivot back to New York Stock Exchange, but I have more with Anderson's interview as he, presumably, you asked him about some of these other candidates in this race. So we'll have Anderson back in a second. But let me go to the New York Stock Exchange, to Allison Cossack, who's been watching very closely and been talking to some of those traders. What is the latest guidance you have? Are we talking, 60 seconds from now?
Very well could be, Brooke. That is the word from the New York Stock Exchange, that the stock exchange will officially reopen in 1 minute. Now, some stocks have already opened. That's why you see this crowd around me. I'm actually near a trading post where some stocks have reopened, but the broad range of stocks that are traded here on the floor, we hear from the New York Stock Exchange, will open in about 40 seconds. You know, there was a lot of skepticism whether or not the exchange was going to be able to go ahead and get things up and running. And you talk to many traders, and they'll tell you that they think it's important for stocks to reopen, even if it was for only a half hour. It's important to open so they can close, merely because it's important that you get those closing values on those stocks for those mutual funds at the end of the day. So they say, and also for confidence reasons, they're looking for the New York Stock Exchange to reopen. Everybody anticipating it. You can see the commotion here on the floor. Everybody looking at their computers, waiting for them to start. A couple seconds away. Let's see if that's going to happen. And I'm hearing some applause. I'm not seeing it yet. Are you guys open? Are you open?
Yeah, it looks like it's open.
There's a little confusion, but it looks like it's open, but they're not getting orders at this moment, Brooke. I'm going to walk out of the frame for a second. Is it open? It's open, but they're not getting orders. So the question is what kind of connectivity is going on between the brokers and the New York Stock Exchange as well? That was actually a question this morning, whether or not the exchange was even going to open. One trader was wondering if the exchange was even going to open today because of connectivity issues between brokers and the New York Stock Exchange. I'm going to step out once again and see if things are working.
Go for it. We're going to stay on this picture. You figure out, Allison Kosik can officially figure out if the exchange is still open. Keep in mind, listen, in a typical trading day, as it will today, will close in about 50 minutes from now. I can see Allison looking around. She's still asking. This is live news, folks. We're doing this on the fly, trying to figure out all the commotion around her. Go ahead, Allison.
A lot of confusion, Brooke. Everybody's shaking their heads. Yes, it's open, but their faces don't look happy, which means they're not getting orders. So it could be that the exchange is open and all is not perfect at this moment, but it is open for business.
Okay. I'm going to let you go. Let's make sure we confirm that. I'm going to go back to Anderson, and as soon as you get that officially, we'll go back. We're just going to bounce around here at the top of the hour. Back to Anderson.
Live news.
Live news, people. Live news. So you just sat down with Donald Trump. We were hearing some of his comments, really totally doubling down on all things.
It's also interesting, you know, there was a retweet that was sent out from Donald Trump's on Twitter feed, and that was then later on deleted, according to the Wrap. And in it talked about Jeb Bush and Jeb Bush's wife, and suggesting perhaps that Jeb Bush's position on illegal immigration was influenced by his wife, by his relationship with his wife. I talked to Donald Trump about that. Let's listen. You've been very vocal in the media, very accessible. You're on Twitter. There was a tweet that caused you problems that was rescinded. It was a retweet about Jeb Bush's wife. You said the original tweet said Jeb Bush has to like the Mexican illegals because of his wife. That was somebody else said that. You retweeted it. Did you authorize that? Did you regret that?
No, I didn't authorize it. But I will say this. Look, I have millions of people on Twitter and Facebook. I think I have over 5 million people on both. It's a lot of people. It's sort of like...
So do you regret that?
It's sort of like owning a newspaper, a big one without the losses. It's good. I don't regret anything. Look, it was a retweet. It wasn't me. And it was actually, if you look at it carefully, it was a retweet of a Breitbart story that was a very good story, a very fair story, a very strong story, a very good story. But do I regret? No, I don't regret it. I mean, you know, look, I would say that he would. If my wife were from Mexico, I think I would have a soft spot for people from Mexico. I can understand.
You think that influences his position on illegal immigration?
I think it could. I mean, maybe it should. If he loves his wife, and I know he does. I hear she's a lovely woman, by the way. So if he loves his wife, and she's from Mexico, I think it probably has an influence on him, yes. I can understand that.
No regrets.
No regrets, and he continues on. It's a very wide-ranging interview. We talked for more than 40 minutes. It's really fascinating. He talks very specifically about what he would do against ISIS in Iraq. I really tried to get him on specifics because in the past, sometimes he just sort of talks in generalities.
Were you successful?
Actually, yeah. In particular, in the ISIS thing, it's quite interesting what he says his plan is. We'll play more of that, obviously, throughout the day and tonight.
Okay, good deal. Anderson Cooper, thank you so much. 8 o'clock tonight, AC360 for more on that. And live TV once again. We're going to go back to the New York Stock Exchange and figure out what the deal is there. Alison Kosik, have they reopened?
You know what, this is sort of something that's happening at the moment, so really it's never really happened like this before, so there is a lot of confusion, but the short answer is the New York Stock Exchange is back and open, although it's opening very slowly. One trader telling me customers right now are a little timid. They're not necessarily sending in their buy orders or their sell orders, so they're waiting. The fact of the matter is the exchange is open. It's important, though, that it stays open until the closing bell at 4 o'clock without any glitches. That's what everybody is sort of holding their breath for at this point, Brooke.
A couple of questions for you. Stay with me, Allison. When we saw you a couple of minutes ago, I mean, you were just sort of swarmed by, I don't know if it was traders, mostly media. I mean, can you just talk about the sense? Give me a little color from the floor.
Confusion, lots of confusion, mass confusion here. Is it open? Is it not open? Why are no orders coming in? Also the anticipation and the preparation for what will come, because a lot of these traders didn't know how the stock exchange was actually going to open the trade. Was it going to resume trade? Meaning stocks have been trading all day. Just because the New York Stock Exchange has been out of business essentially, stocks have been trading on other exchanges. So what the New York Stock Exchange essentially did is say, yes, we're going to go ahead and open for business, but we're not going to open with a clean slate, meaning starting over on a new day. We're going to start with the train still rolling, with those trades still rolling as they have been all day. So these traders here are having to jump on that train and resume trading like it hasn't stopped all day. So that does cause a little confusion, and that's why you are seeing sort of the pause and the deliberate movement of these traders at the moment. They're not as hurried as they usually would be at the opening of a trade.
Still seems pretty frenetic, though. I imagine working there at the New York Stock Exchange floor, that is par for the course. Alison Kosik, thank you so much for rolling with this. So again, just reiterating what she's reported, the New York Stock Exchange is now officially open for really just about 40 more minutes of the trading day. We'll watch some of the numbers. As she pointed out, some of the numbers had been ticking up and down. Some of the other exchanges had been still open today, NASDAQ, ARCA, et cetera. But, you know, keep in mind, 82% of trading at the New York Stock Exchange is electronic. So when you have an internal technical issue, again, internal technical issue, not the result of a cyber breach, what happens is what we have all witnessed the last couple of hours. Quick break. We're back with more breaking news here on CNN.
Thanks to the power of global trade, life on planet Earth is changing faster than ever. Of course, there's still a long way to go, but the more people keep on trading, the better it'll get for everyone, everywhere.
So shiny.
I know, Mommy, but it's time to let the new kitchen get some sleep.
If you want beautiful results, you know where to go. Angie's List. Now everyone can get highly rated service even without a membership. You can shop special offers or just tell us what you need, and we'll help you find a local company to take care of it. Angie's List is there for all your projects, big and small.
Pretty.
Come see what the new Angie's List can do for you.
We have a great deck in our backyard, but it seemed like we never used it.
The sun was too hot.
Our umbrella was too small.
Then we heard about Sunsetter.
You know, the retractable awning people.
I'll be honest. At first, we just weren't that interested.
We thought they'd be, well, a little tacky.
Hard to operate.
Not big enough.
Too expensive, right?
But then our neighbors got one.
Then we ordered one.
I have a little secret. I didn't think I'd love it this much.
You may have heard about Sunsetter retractable awnings, but if you haven't gotten your free idea kit and DVD, now is the time.
Our awning has given us our deck back.
I can open and close it in 60 seconds.
It feels 20 degrees cooler.
And it looks fabulous. I love the stripes.
Call now to get your free idea kit and DVD. Do it right now, and we'll add this exclusive $200 discount certificate, so you can get your own Sunsetter awning for as little as $499. Sunsetter is America's best-selling retractable awning, with over 500,000 sold. They're assembled right here in the USA and guaranteed to last for years.
We're spending so much more time out here now. Grilling is fun again.
We have people over, we entertain more. It's like we have a new room in our backyard.
But I mean, look at it. How could you not think it was super expensive?
We thought it was going to cost a fortune.
It's actually saved us money. It keeps the house cool.
Don't miss out. This is a limited time offer. Call now to get your $200 discount certificate, free idea kit, and DVD. It will show you how to turn your deck or patio into a shady oasis for much less than you thought. Plus, you'll find out about motorized awnings that open in seconds and screened-in models for bug-free living.
Now, if anyone asks, I just tell them to make the call.
Make the call.
Go ahead, make the call.
This is a limited time offer. Call now for your free idea kit, DVD, and $200 discount certificate.
Call 1-800-810-4954 for your free idea kit, DVD, discount certificate, and local dealer information. That's 1-800-810-4954.
You pay your car insurance premium like clockwork, month after month, year after year. Then one night you hydroplane into a ditch. Yeah. Surprise, your insurance company tells you to pay up again. Why pay for insurance if you have to pay even more for using it?
If you have Liberty Mutual Deductible Fund, you could pay no deductible at all. Sign up to immediately lower your deductible by $100 and keep lowering it $100 annually until it's gone. Then continue to earn that $100 every year. There's no limit to how much you can earn, and this savings applies to every vehicle on your policy. Call 1-888-865-2166 to learn more. Switch to Liberty Mutual and you could save up to $423. Call Liberty Mutual for a free quote today at 1-888-865-2166. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Closed captioning brought to you by MeSoBook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. That's why we offer this free book. Call 1-800-400-5415.
The Washington Post, as you know, say that some of the workers building this beautiful hotel that you're building down in Washington, D.C. are illegal. They talked to 15 workers. They said a number of those 15 came here legally through asylum. They're now legal, but that a number of them did say they're illegal. Isn't it hypocritical for you saying that illegal immigration is killing this country to be employing illegal immigrants?
I read the story, and we're building a great hotel on Pennsylvania Avenue, and it's being done beautifully, and I'm very cognizant of that. And by the way, that story does not name any names. I'd love them if they could give us the names, but they said they spoke to one or two, but they don't name them, and they don't even know if it's true.
Well, what they say is several of the men who hail mostly from El Salvador, Honduras.
All right, so that was just a piece of Anderson Cooper's sit-down with Donald Trump. I just ran back from the sit-down, 40 minutes with him, talked about his doubling down on the remarks he's had with regard to illegal immigration. Clearly he's not backing down, talking about some of the other candidates in the race, talking about this hotel that's being built not too far from the White House. Washington Post story saying several undocumented immigrants working on that hotel, which would paint the picture of hypocrisy for Mr. Trump. Again, he says, doubling down on that as well. Let's talk about this. Let's chew on this with our chief congressional correspondent, Dana Bash. I've got Jeff Zeleny, our senior Washington correspondent, and CNN chief political analyst, Gloria Borger. And if we can, to all three of you, I want your gut reactions out of the gate, round robin style, of what you thought of just those few minutes of TV we got from Anderson. Dana, to you first.
You know what? When you're doing well in the polls, you got to be prepared for scrutiny. And this is exactly what Donald Trump is getting. And there is a lot to scrutinize. I mean, when you have, as he likes to talk about, a multi-billion-dollar company and you have so many sort of tentacles of it, there is a lot to drill down on, especially when he made the controversial remarks that he made, as he is sticking to. So, of course, there are going to be stories, and probably more like this, about illegal or undocumented workers working for parts of his companies. And, of course, you're not going to get the names of them because anybody, with even half of a brain who's undocumented won't give their name because they will be deported. So that's a little bit of a red herring.
Of course, but it seemed that he was pushing it off on the contractor. It seems he was pushing it off on the
big leagues.
Right. Welcome. Jeff Zeleny, your turn.
I mean, Dan is right. Look, running for president is harder than talking about running for president, and that's what Donald Trump has always done. He's talked about running for president. Now that he's actually running, he's sort of going through the gauntlet here, and every word you say sort of comes back at you. So the reality is, though, Brooke, he is still talking about this. This isn't what voters necessarily want to hear about. It's certainly not what the party wants to hear about. So the biggest question is how quickly, does he move beyond this? Does he stop doubling down on this and sort of change the subject? It sounds like he is doing that in part of the interview on ISIS and other things. But this immigration thing is a loser for Donald Trump and maybe his party.
But we keep asking him about it, Gloria Borger, because it's so sort of outrageous. We are, and he continues to, come back with, even louder, more vociferous retorts.
As I was listening to Donald Trump, my thought was, first rule of holes, stop digging, okay? And he keep digging himself in deeper and deeper. The other thing I thought about was Mitt Romney. Remember when Mitt Romney was talking about that issue of self-deportation when he moved to the right during the Republican primaries last time? And then a story came out, and he was criticized because some landscapers who worked on his property were apparently illegal immigrants, and he had to deal with that whole controversy. So Anderson is right in asking the question, okay, you're against illegal immigration, you want to build some big wall, isn't it hypocritical? And the answer is, of course, yes, which is why he kept digging himself a deeper hole.
Poll numbers, ladies and gentlemen, in my hands, just to remind all of us, those of us who are keeping score. This is a CNN ORC poll from June. Republicans' choice for nominee in 2016. Number 1 at the top here, you have Jeb Bush. Number 2, Donald Trump. He is second in the poll as well for who can best handle the economy and who can best handle illegal immigration. This is CNN ORC. My question, I was just talking to Carl Bernstein, the legendary Carl Bernstein, and he said he thinks that Donald Trump is the biggest gift to the Dems in this election cycle. Gloria Borger, do you agree?
Yeah, I think he's a great gift. And you saw Hillary Clinton in her interview with Breonna Keeler yesterday kind of swat them all along with Donald Trump. She said, well, Donald Trump, they're not attacking him enough. And, it's very convenient for Hillary Clinton to be able to paint them all with the same broad stroke as Donald Trump, because, of course, as you know, Republicans disagree about what to do about illegal immigration. So it's a total gift to Hillary Clinton. And I think Republicans ought to be using Trump as a foil more. And they're starting to do that. But I guarantee you we're going to hear more and more of it.
They're starting to do that. But at the same time, Dana Bash, you have the Rudy Giuliani's and the Ted Cruz's of the world who are supporting him. Is that helping Trump?
No, it doesn't. I think for Trump, it doesn't matter. I think the Ted Cruz's of the world hope it helps Ted Cruz, which is why he's making a very strong case for being kind of on Donald Trump's side. But look, from the minute that Trump gave his now infamous announcement speech where he made these remarks about Mexican illegal immigrants being rapists and criminals and so forth, I got, and I'm sure I know my colleagues also got, calls from Republican candidates from their campaigns saying, are you kidding me? Why are you taking this guy seriously?
Right.
He's not going to be president. And you know what? I'm not getting those calls anymore. Not because they think he's going to be president, but because they know he's a force to be reckoned with. And they're not happy about it. And more importantly, the party in general is not happy about it for the reason that Gloria was just talking about. It just takes them down a road that they were hoping, was cut off in 2012 when dealing with and talking about and the rhetoric about illegal immigrants for a party that is so desperately trying to reach out to the Hispanic and Latino community. This is absolutely the last thing that they need, and they're trying to figure out a way out of it.
Dana Bash, Jeff Zeleny, and Gloria Borger, thank you all very, very much. And again, reminder, we just saw a piece of it, but Anderson told me he sat down with Donald Trump for 40 minutes. Watch this interview tonight, AC 360, 8 p.m. Eastern here on CNN. Coming up, back to our breaking news. New York Stock Exchange has now, just a mere minutes ago, reopened. It was a computer glitch that brought it to a standstill for hours today. As I reported, trading has restarted just a couple of minutes ago. We'll take you back there live. Also, does this glitch here, though, reveal serious security concerns? We'll explore coming up.
Can a protein originally found in a jellyfish improve your memory? Our scientists say yes.
Researchers have discovered a protein that actually supports healthier brain function. It's the breakthrough in a supplement called Prevagen. As we age, we lose proteins that support our brain. Prevagen supplements these proteins and has been clinically shown to improve memory. It's safe and effective. For support of healthier brain function, a sharper mind, and clearer thinking, try Prevagen for yourself today.
What's better than $5,000 a week for life? The Publishers Clearinghouse $5,000 a week forever prize. Win $5,000 a week for your life. Then after that, someone you choose gets $5,000 a week for their life. Enter at PCH.com and August 31st. Win forever.
There's a big difference between retirement and a secure retirement. Well, you may be standing right in front of the difference between uncertainty and knowing that everything's going to be all right. It's your home. Turning your home's equity into tax-free cash when you need it is a simple way to eliminate your existing monthly mortgage payments, pay off debt, and get you and your family the financial resources you need. It's a loan that your home pays back instead of you making monthly payments, the way you do with a traditional mortgage. If you're 62 or older and own your own home, you may qualify for a government-insured reverse mortgage. Now, we all love our homes. Why not just stay there using a reverse mortgage with AAG? It could be the perfect solution. Call us today to receive a free information pack with no obligation that contains a helpful 3-part guide and DVD. You'll receive a guide to reverse mortgages and how they work, including the many consumer safeguards that protect you and your home. Also, our important all-new reverse mortgage retirement planner that explains the many ways a reverse mortgage could provide stability and security for your retirement. We then add a guide filled with information for children and loved ones. It's got what you need to know about reverse mortgages and how they can play a vital role in your retirement plans.
Call 1-800-815-6916 to receive our all-new information pack, all absolutely free with no obligation. Call 1-800-815-6916. That's 1-800-815-6916.
Real retirement security makes all the difference. Find out more about what a reverse mortgage can do for you.
Call 1-800-815-6916 to receive our all-new information pack, all absolutely free with no obligation. Call 1-800-815-6916. That's 1-800-815-6916.
AAG, the best advice for a better life.
Tonight, Anderson Cooper sits down with Donald Trump and talks about his controversial comments on immigration and his competitors for the Republican nomination. What will he tell America now? Anderson Cooper 360, tonight at 8 Eastern.
For a comprehensive look at global news important to you, watch NHK World. At the top of the hour, Newsline has the latest headlines and top stories. Then, Newsroom Tokyo brings the events of the day together. And Global Agenda digs deep into today's challenges with leading experts who inform and provide clarity. Keep watch on the globe with NHK World.
Dylan, dinner's here!
One extreme pizza order, enjoy the ride. Sweet!
Awesome. Experience the Border. Shredded pork and barbecue sauce, red onions, fresh cilantro, cheddar, and mozzarella. Extreme flavor delivered to your door. Only from Extreme Pizza. Extreme, not mainstream.
New day. The most news in the morning. Tomorrow starting at 6 Eastern on CNN.
Just an update here in our breaking news. If you're just joining us, just a couple minutes ago, we can officially tell you that trading has resumed at the New York Stock Exchange after, let me be precise in my language, internal technical issues sort of stopped the whole system for multiple hours today, not the result of a cyber breach. That was just one of 3 major entities affected today by glitches. You also had the Wall Street Journal's homepage. That went dark for a period of time earlier today. And then this morning, United Airlines grounded flights worldwide because of a glitch there as well in the online reservation system. So joining me now, CNN law enforcement analyst and former FBI Assistant Director Tom Fuentes. And Tom, first to you, just with your spidey sense and knowledge, I mean, you 3 Wall Street Journal, New York Stock Exchange, and United Airlines all happening in one day. Coincidence? Is that what this was? That's it?
Very suspicious, Brooke, but as they looked into it, so far it appears to be coincidence. But I should add, on these kind of incidents, the FBI Cyber Division immediately jumps into action anytime an element threatens the critical infrastructure of our country. And critical infrastructure includes anything that concerns our power grid, water pumping, communications, aviation, and of course our financial markets. So what they have to look at, is that market being attacked? Is that computer system, computer network under some form of a breach from outside, from a foreign power, from organized crime, from just individual hackers? So they immediately look at the worst case scenario and then dial it back as they determine that it wasn't that. And that's what's happened in these cases so far, is that once these issues were looked at, it was pretty much determined so far to not be the result of an outside attack.
Right. And just for context, for those of you watching what happened at the New York Stock Exchange, the last thing that was anywhere in the neighborhood of this was 2013, the flash freeze. That was when the NASDAQ-listed shares stopped trading for more than 3 hours. But I think it underscores the point of the vulnerabilities, right, Tom? The vulnerabilities of these online entities.
Right. The concern is that bad actors could test our systems, that one day they might look at the financial markets, another day they might look at communications or aviation, another day the power grid, with the idea that someday they could put it all together as a prelude to a possible cyber attack on the entire United States. And the fear has always been in our country for decades that a major attack that shut down all of our major infrastructure could turn the United States into Somalia. If we rely completely on our computers for everything. So that's the issue, that if our computers are shut down, we're as vulnerable as we could possibly be.
It is a tad frightening how reliant we all are, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Coming up next, we will take you back to the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. Again, trading has resumed after halting for multiple hours today because of this technical issue. Closing bell 25 minutes away. Stay with me. You're watching CNN special live coverage.
A new season brings a new look, a chance to try something different. This summer, challenge your preconceptions and experience a Cadillac for yourself. Take advantage of our summer offers. The 2015 Cadillac SRX, a crossover with space, safety, and style. Lease this from around $339 per month.
You wouldn't ignore signs of damage in your home. Are you sure you're not ignoring them in your body? Even if you're treating your Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, an occasional flare may be a sign of damaging inflammation. And if you ignore the signs, the more debilitating your symptoms could become. Learn more about the role damaging inflammation may be playing in your symptoms with the expert advice tool at crohnsandcolitis.com. And then speak with your gastroenterologist.
This strategy outperformed in the short term. Can your portfolio keep up with the changing
Asset is rallying. Is that a bad thing? On the market, click here. Breaking news. The Fed.
Section B1 you should know about your bond. Harder to come by. Yes. Whichever way the market goes, strategic.
There's nothing more romantic than a spontaneous moment, so why pause to take a pill? And why stop what you're doing to find a bathroom? With Cialis for daily use, you don't have to plan around either. It's the only daily tablet approved to treat erectile dysfunction, so you can be ready anytime the moment is right. Plus, Cialis treats the frustrating urinary symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently, day or night. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any symptoms of an allergic reaction, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Why pause the moment? Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use. For a free 30-tablet trial, go to Cialis.com.
You totaled your brand new car. Nobody's hurt, but there will still be pain.
It comes when your insurance company says they'll only pay 3/4 of what it takes to replace it. What are you supposed to do? Drive 3/4 of a car? Now, if you had Liberty Mutual new car replacement, you'd get your whole car back. I guess they don't want you driving around on 3 wheels. Smart.
New car replacement is just one of the features that comes standard with a base Liberty Mutual policy. And for drivers with accident forgiveness, rates won't go up due to your first accident. Learn more by calling 1-888-675-3155. Switch to Liberty Mutual and you could save up to $423. For a free quote today, call Liberty Mutual Insurance at 1-888-675-3155. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Box for razors.
Hold on 1 second. This is not enough.
That's all I have.
How about the watch? And I'll need that shirt too. Thank you.
Still getting beat up by high razor prices? DollarShaveClub.com ships amazing razors for just a few bucks.
After a brief period of time, the identity of the perpetrator tends to fade from the public's consciousness, but not so with the Manson case. The very name has become a metaphor for evil.
The 70s, tomorrow night at 9.
Closed captioning brought to you by MeSoBook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. That's why we offer this free book. Call 1-800-400-5415.
All right, here's an update here on our breaking story we're following really for the past couple of hours that the New York Stock Exchange has now reopened, resumed trading after a major technical malfunction in the late morning. It halted trading for 3 to 4 hours today. I have Allison Kosik, who has been standing by there on the floor in the midst of the madness, if you will, there at the New York Stock Exchange. Also with me, global economic analyst Rana Foroohar and cybersecurity expert Rob Sadowski. So, Allison, let me just kick it back to you first as we're looking at the numbers down 235 points, 20 more minutes of trading. What's the sense where you are?
Things have certainly calmed down, Brooke, since the New York Stock Exchange reopened for business about, 30 minutes ago, I'd say. But that opening happening more with a whimper than a bang, because a lot of the trades that usually come into the New York Stock Exchange, those market orders not happening. But some traders say that's a good thing. Just to give you an idea, the volume, the number of trades coming in right now at 217 million, usually at this time of the afternoon, that would be triple that number. So it would be more like 600 million. But many traders say they just want this to be smooth. They want to get to the close without a glitch. Things could ramp up toward the close, meaning toward 4 o'clock. So we've got about 20 minutes. So you are seeing traders kind of brace for that. But at this point, they're looking at their screens and kind of happy that they're back in business, Brooke.
Okay, Allison, stay with me. Jump back in if you'd like to in the conversation here. Rana, let me just turn to you. Just first, your assessment, looking at the numbers, you were sort of saying, expected.
Yeah, not too bad. You know, when something like this happens, you always expect a little bit of a dip when the markets reopen. Nobody knows quite what's going on, but these are normal jitters. It's worth saying the market was already jittery before any of this happened. You know, we were talking about China stocks falling.
I'm looking at you and I'm thinking just 48 hours ago we had the conversation about China and Greece. But
so now we can go back to being worried about what we were already worried about instead of this.
Okay. Will this at all impact anything globally, or it's pretty self-sustained?
I think that what this says is two things. First of all, everyone looks to the U.S. markets for reliability, for dependability, for stability. And I think when something like this happens, it does sort of rattle investors. Mm-hmm. People lose confidence. I mean, that happened certainly during the flash crash, you know, when the NASDAQ went down. This is something certainly that the markets are going to want to come to grips with. It's a very wobbly time right now. You've got China in a free fall, as we were talking about earlier. That's probably going to continue for a while. I'm expecting jitters there for the next week. Europe's debt crisis is going to keep plowing on through Sunday. So I think we're in for several days of jitters with or without technical glitches.
Okay, so with the jitters, Rob, let me ask you this question because everyone sort of came out pretty quickly. I know the president had been briefed. The FBI called in just to check on it. They weren't needed as much. And even Jay Johnson, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary, said, and he was talking more about the United issue, that nothing seemed nefarious. How will all three of these, WallStreetJournal.com, New York Stock Exchange, United Airlines, how will they all be able to trace back the glitches and figure out what the heck happened?
Right. So I think that, they need only the insiders, only those companies, Brooke, are going to know. They're going to have the forensic evidence. They're going to have the data of what happened on their network. And again, all the preliminary indications are that these weren't a cyber threat. But I think the interesting part about this is that everyone's mind automatically gravitated towards that. A couple of years ago, we might have just thought, oh, this is a computer glitch. Now, everyone's mind gravitates to the fact, hey, this could be a cyber attack. And it just shows you, the level of risk that's out there, the concern that's out there for some of these critical infrastructure and some of these critical industries in our economy.
Staying with you, does this show or underscore if this can happen on the very same day, overlapping in the same hours, these three major brands, the vulnerability of our systems to something more nefarious? Or is that totally separate?
No, I think that, again, there is certainly a heightened sense of risk as more and more of these industries, your point is very well taken. Across these different industries, they are all so dependent on technology, and that raises the level of risk for a cyber attack to disrupt those industries. And we've seen that actors who may target them, criminals who may target them, nation states that may target these industries will use and have used cyber attacks to go after, to prove their point, to accomplish their objectives, to achieve financial gain. So this is certainly a risk and certainly an area where companies really across any sector of critical infrastructure need to be focusing, need to be improving their defenses, need to be able to detect and respond to cyber threats that may target and seek to disrupt their operations.
Alison Kosik, let me book in this conversation back with you. I was listening to you earlier, and as far as, talk about being reliant on computers. We're all a little guilty of that, not just these massive companies, but specifically at the New York Stock Exchange, 82% of the trading there is done electronically. I guess some still subscribe to the old-fashioned trading, but when you're talking to some of these traders, I'm just curious, some of whom have been there for a long, long time, and they saw this outage for multiple hours today. Were their nerves rattled at all, or no?
I wouldn't say their nerves were rattled. I think there was just a lot of disappointment. I mean, this did not make them happy. This is not good press for the New York Stock Exchange, which prides itself on that electronic trading. You think about even just the battle between exchanges, let's just say the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ, the battle to get listings, the battle to get those big IPOs like Twitter that's listed here or Facebook that's listed at the NASDAQ. Remember the Facebook IPO when Facebook went public and how that technical glitch at the NASDAQ certainly put a black eye on the NASDAQ? Well, that's the big worry here at the New York Stock Exchange, that the worry is that how the questions will sort of start flowing. How reliable is the New York Stock Exchange for your trading business? That is the big worry. That was the big worry, at least earlier today, on a lot of these traders' faces, is this sort of embarrassment that comes with a huge glitch like this.
Okay, 14 more minutes of this wild and wacky trading day. I'm sure we'll check back in with you for the closing bell. Alison Kosik, Rana Foroohar, and Rob Sadowski. Forgive me, Rob Sadowski, thank you all very much. And coming up, a woman who says she was assaulted by Bill Cosby. She shares her story. Her lawsuit was dismissed days ago. She'll join me live next.
Provokes lust. It elicits pride, incites envy, and unleashes wrath. Temptation comes in many heart-pounding forms, but only one letter. F, the performance mark from Lexus.
Critics are tooting the horn for the nation's #1 movie.
Everyone's a winner.
Inside Out is a flat-out masterpiece. The most extraordinary film of the year.
And I call that an unqualified success.
Disney Pixar's Inside Out, now in 3D. Rated PG.
There's a big difference between retirement and a secure retirement. Well, you may be standing right in front of the difference between uncertainty and knowing that everything's going to be all right. It's your home. Turning your home's equity into tax-free cash when you need it is a simple way to eliminate your existing monthly mortgage payments, pay off debt, and get you and your family the financial resources you need. It's a loan that your home pays back instead of you making monthly payments, the way you do with a traditional mortgage. If you're 62 or older and own your own home, you may qualify for a government-insured reverse mortgage. Now, we all love our homes. Why not just stay there using a reverse mortgage with AAG? It could be the perfect solution. Call us today to receive a free information pack with no obligation that contains a helpful 3-part guide and DVD. You'll receive a guide to reverse mortgages and how they work, including the many consumer safeguards that protect you and your home. Also, our important all-new reverse mortgage retirement planner that explains the many ways a reverse mortgage could provide stability and security for your retirement. We then add a guide filled with information for children and loved ones. It's got what you need to know about reverse mortgages and how they can play a vital role in your retirement plans.
Call 1-800-815-6916 to receive our all-new information pack, all absolutely free with no obligation. Call 1-800-815-6916. That's 1-800-815-6916.
Real retirement security makes all the difference. Find out more about what a reverse mortgage can do for you.
Call 1-800-815-6916 to receive our all-new information pack, all absolutely free with no obligation. Call 1-800-815-6916. That's 1-800-815-6916.
AAG, the best advice for a better life.
He was able to abuse children repeatedly.
She had been kidnapped, put in chains. Her body was right behind the sofas.
Evil has met its match. The Hunt with John Walsh. An all-new season starts Sunday night at 9 on CNN.
Hi, folks. Alan Thicke here. For some time now, I've been offering tips about how to deal with the IRS if you've fallen behind on your taxes. Telling you to call Optima Tax Relief because they're the best trained, most trustworthy, blah, blah, and blah. But now the message is so familiar, you may not be listening. Oh, it's him again. Well, here's the important message. Call Optima Tax Relief. They can help you resolve your IRS issues. The government, can garnish your wages, they can levy your bank account, even take your home or business. To be fair, the IRS also has a new program called the Fresh Start Initiative to help you with that debt. So we've given you clever slogans, don't mess with the IRS, they'd rather settle for less than bother you more. Now the clever thing for you to do is call Optima Tax Relief now for a free consultation.
Call 1-800-786-1737 or visit OptimaTaxRelief.com. That's 1-800-786-1737. Call or go online now.
The Lead with Jake Tapper, up next on CNN.
Now to more personal voices on this Bill Cosby fallout here. First, the attorney who deposed him in 2005 is now considering filing a motion to get the full deposition unsealed, the very same deposition that revealed Cosby admitted to acquiring Quaaludes with the intention to use with women to have sex with them. That means alleged victims would be identified and all redacted portions would be disclosed. Since the Quaalude bombshell from that now unsealed deposition, 2 networks have pulled reruns of the Comedy Legends TV shows. Disney World has now removed a bust of Bill Cosby from its park in Orlando. And my next guest is likely to agree with all these choices. She says she was drugged and raped by Bill Cosby in 1992. Lily Bernard is the former Cosby Show actress. She played the character of Mrs. Minifield on the show's final season. She came forward in May, and Lily joins me now with her attorney, Gloria Allred. Allred represents 13 other Cosby accusers. We spoke with Beth Ferrier yesterday, and so I just want to welcome both of you to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just so we are crystal clear, Lily, I know that you say you were raped in New Jersey, and New Jersey has no statute of limitations on sexual assault. But, and at least this is according to Cosby's attorney as of last week, who said your case was dismissed. Have either of you heard from the Atlantic City prosecutor? Is that your understanding of the case or not whatsoever?
Yes, and by the way, when you indicated earlier that she filed a lawsuit that was dismissed, that's not accurate. She did not ever file a lawsuit, and no lawsuit, therefore, was dismissed. As to the Atlantic City prosecutor, she did spend more than 5 hours talking to detectives there. New Jersey has no statute of limitations, but It's not retroactive. The law was changed in 1996, I believe, and it goes back 5 years. She missed it by a few months, but the reason that the prosecutor's not pursuing it has nothing to do with whether Lily was telling the truth in the 5 hours. She gave very, very compelling information to the detectives. It has to do with the statute of limitations. And the statute of limitations, those are the three favorite words, I think, of Bill Cosby. You know, maybe he prays to those words every day, statute of limitations. Maybe he's going to imprint them on his forehead. But all I can tell you is Lily was very brave. We're glad she made a report. We suggest any other woman who alleged she was sexually assaulted by Mr. Cosby go to their local law enforcement or wherever the assault occurred and report it so that it's in the record.
Lily, I just want to hear your voice. Can you tell me what happened in 1992?
Yeah. First, I want to respectfully correct you that you stated that
listen,
I
both of you ladies,
said,
I apologize. I got some wrong information, and I am on the record apologizing to both of you for erroneously reporting that.
It's okay. I just want to clarify that I never stated that he raped me in 1992. I stated that he drugged and raped me in the early 1990s, but in 1992, he threatened me with words that I perceived to be a death threat. So just to clarify that.
It wasn't 1992. It was the early 90s. I understand. Can you tell me what happened either time?
Well, first of all, I just want to preface it by saying that Bill Cosby has admitted to administering drugs with the intent of having sex with young women. And sex is an expression of mutual consent. Therefore, rape is not sex. Rape is a very violent and highly intrusive criminal act that can cause lifelong and life-threatening damage and trauma in a woman's life, as it has in my life, having been a victim of Bill Cosby's drugging and raping. And we live in a society that functions under principles of equality, respect, and philanthropy, and in the trademark manner, in the highest form of a coward, Bill Cosby has hidden under this facade, under this public persona that espouses these societal images, these societal morals, while he then turned around and committed acts of sexual enslavement upon me, by surreptitiously slipping drugs into my blood that incapacitated me, prevented me from being able to fend for myself, to fight off my attacker, which in this case was Bill Cosby. And that is how I perceive it to be sexual enslavement.
Let me play you some sound from Whoopi Goldberg on The View today.
People have been coming after me saying they're going to snatch my family, they're going to come up. It's like being Frankenstein. People coming after you with the fire and they're going to burn you. No one here thinks rapists are fun. Nobody here thinks rape or hates women or any of that. So don't come after me like that, because I'm sick of this bull. Here's the bottom line. For me, it's my opinion. And the American courts agree with me, because still, he has not been taken to jail or tried or on anything. So back off me.
So, Lily, final question to you, 60 seconds. What would you say, how would you respond to the defenders of Bill Cosby, to Whoopi Goldberg?
Well, I have utmost respect for Whoopi Goldberg. She's a great comedian, but what I endured with Bill Cosby was no bull by any means. He met with me under the pretense of meeting with producers who would further my career, and he surreptitiously, clandestinely slipped drugs into my blood, and he raped me. It was a very traumatic. I'm a very strong person. I gave birth to 6 children without any pain relief, and yet with this strength, because he incapacitated me, I was not even able to push away the pillow from my face that he was using to silence my screams while he was suffocating me, while he was raping me. And then when he finally lifted the pillow and I could finally gasp for air, I could not even wipe away the tears trickling down my temples that were welling in my ears. And so this is no bull. This is real. This is what I experienced, and it was highly invasive. I fell on a table and cut myself, having been drugged by him, and cut myself and bruised. The table that I fell upon bruised and cut me. It was very violent. And if and when I'm called to testify under oath, I will present all the details along with evidence and contact information of third-party witnesses.
Lily,
but it was no bull.
it
was highly traumatic, and it's impacted my life very negatively.
I admire your strength. Lily Bernard, thank you so much. And Gloria Allred, thank you as well. And
Thank
please
you very
do not
much.
miss.
Thank you, Brooke.
Thank you very much. Do not miss tonight's special report, No Laughing Matter, Inside the Cosby Allegations, 9 o'clock Eastern, right here on CNN. I'm Brooke Baldwin. That does it for me. The Lead with Jake Tapper starts now.
Costly, frightening computer glitches, all of them hitting on the same day. I'm Jake Tapper. This is The Lead, the national lead. Computer issues grounding all United Airlines flights, shutting down the New York Stock Exchange, taking down a national newspaper. Coincidence or an attack? The politics lead, former President Jimmy Carter, live one-on-one. He knows all about being shafted by Iran and about winning the Democratic nomination. I'll ask him what advice he has for Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, and why the born-again Christian says Jesus would approve of same-sex marriage. Plus, Donald Trump just wrapping up an interview with Anderson Cooper and digging in on immigration, even as he admits he cannot be 100% certain he's hiring 100% legal workers.
This is CNN Breaking News.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jake Tapper. Breaking news in our national lead. One day, 3 separate computer issues bringing down 3 hugely important pieces of the U.S. economy to a sudden and unexpected stop. Departure boards blank after United Airlines grounds its planes. An error message plastered across the Wall Street Journal's website. And most significantly, all trading put on hold at the New York Stock Exchange for hours. Right now, federal law enforcement agencies say they do not know whether these 3 events are connected, and they do not know, as of now, if there is any evidence that these outages were triggered by hacks or any malicious activity, though they acknowledge that remains a possibility that they are investigating. Let's get right to CNN's Allison Kozik. She is at the New York Stock Exchange. Allison, the stock exchange just halted trading, but after 11:32 this morning, it had stopped. When did traders realize something odd was going on? At that moment, 11:32?
At that moment, Jake, at 11:32, a trader put it this way, saying the music just stopped, the computers just stopped moving. They had some indication that there was some sort of technical difficulty earlier today before the opening bell rang. One trader told me that he was having connectivity